Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Jedi Z channel. Today we are going to be reacting to Andrew Tate's most viral moments ever. And yeah guys, exactly what it sounds like. I think it's going to be quite intense and interesting. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Action is doing something. If you feel depressed, Jay, you're going to spill my fucking coffee and you're ruining my Tate speech. Piss off.
Guys, he's kind of funny, to be honest.
So, what me and Tristan do is very, very important by attempting to rebalance the universe with our Aikido. Please understand, there is no female on the planet who would not be a loving, loyal, subservient girlfriend to men of our caliber. Of course, there's nowhere else to fucking go. But I refuse to allow that to happen. You can either buy yourself a nice, reliable Toyota, or you can buy yourself a McLaren and all its problems. Because when you have the best of the
That's actually a pretty good analogy to use, to be honest, because expensive cars cost a hell of a lot to maintain, whereas opposed to a reliable car doesn't. And I kind of get it though, because rich people generally have a lot of problems, in particular with their relationships and whatnot.
I refuse to allow some bitch to get a reliable McLaren and me. In fact, I'm so offended. Fuck being loyal. I'm offended if a bitch thinks I'm loyal. Will you think I have no hoes? Do I look like a fucking punk?
No, we all know that he's obviously got many girlfriends, in his terminology, hoes. But yeah, I mean, if you've been a fighter all your life and well, majority of your life, and the risk and reward has been very high, very very high risk, so then the reward's always been high as well, because like some fighters don't make it out sane and fine, and some of them end up on wheelchairs or some end up dying, so he kind of deserves that.
People who spend money like them. These people who advocate save, 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 save are banging sixes. They have a six. They're happy with their six. They sit at home. If you have a six and you're happy with your six, you don't need a sports car. Why? You don't need designer clothes. You don't need to go to the club. You don't need a cool Instagram. You don't need shit if you're banging average ass hoes.
Is he on drugs?
But if you want to bang and sleep with and conversate with the most beautiful women in the world, you need to go to where the most beautiful women in the world are. And they are in expensive places. And you need to pull up in a car which is either superior to or on par with the other cars in the parking lot. Which means if you're going to go to Monaco and you want to be talking to a Russian 10 out of 10, you need to roll.
He's kind of explaining something that's actually common sense. Like, we all know that if you're trying to sleep with models or whatever, you're going to have some money, and you're going to have to be able to compete with other people that have money. It's kind of common sense, so I don't understand why he's got to tell everyone this. We all kind of know this.
Watch Netflix, eat the bugs. Watch Disney, don't have a sword. Don't walk around with a sword. That's what they want you to do.
I'm sorry, what? That's so random. That is so random. That conversation went from something that actually made sense to something that was a bit random. I mean, I can see why the government would say, well, not just the government, but people would feel endangered if people were walking around with a sword in their hand. That's kind of funny.
If you're the kind of person who feels like they need therapy, you're useless. Because in the harshest realities of this cold world, there are people in Syria whose entire families have been blown to fuck, who are still getting up every day, making fucking bread and selling it on the streets.
No, guys, I actually do agree with that. So that is very true. We as a society, and particularly in the West, we're just far too soft, and we compare ourselves with other people in the West, which then makes us even more soft. But if we were to even put ourselves in someone's shoes from another country for even 10 minutes, we'd start to see how of a doom and gloom our life could be. So I 100% agree with him based upon that theory that he's projecting out there.
So they have enough money to buy a new pair of sandals sometime next year.
Never say you go into bed. Going to bed is emasculate. Cowards need sleep.
How absurd.
No, guys, that's not true. That's not true. It's literally scientific fact that we need to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours every single day. And if you're not sleeping that much, you're probably not functioning very well the day after. And you can try to make it seem like that it's like a mindset thing and that you can fight through it and you can fight through 6 hours of sleep every single day. But the thing is, you're not as productive as you could be. So therefore, it's more coward to not sleep and basically be less productive. Or you can get that extra hour in and become even more productive every single day. I don't know. I just don't agree with him based upon that.
So you're a slave if you have a job in any form. Some slaves are better paid than others, but most people are slaves.
I don't really agree with that, guys. I don't really agree with the concept of that if you have a job, then you're a slave, because the fact of the matter is that not every single person can be a business owner. Not every single person can be a doctor. Not every single person can be like an engineer.
But
We need people to fill in certain roles in society so we can function as a society. Because if you have people doing the same role, then who's going to do the other bits and pieces? Right, so I think what he's saying is that he's better than everyone else and everyone else is nothing, and he's just taking the opportunity to show off, but he's not really making sense in this scenario. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I feel like that Andrew Tate is just the quintessential sort of fighter. You know, the person that's got a lot of rage and anger in him, and he just wants to express it in some sort of way. And yeah, he catches people screwing him over, and that's the perfect moment. You know, that is the opportunistic moment that he uses to attack that person. And fair enough. Yes, there's some outlandish things that he says, and I do agree with a lot of people that, you know, say, well, you know, like, he's basically trying to force his opinion on everyone else, trying to exclude that other people shouldn't have an opinion. But at the same time, you know, he does sometimes make sense, so we can't discount that. So
that's true.
You know, I pretty much sit on the fence with him. I don't really disagree or agree with a lot of the things that he says. There are things that are certainly like agreeable, 100%, as I have showed in this video, but there are also things that it's just a matter of personality. Some people express themselves in a violent, temperamental sort of moment, and some people don't. You know, some people talk in a very intellectual, calm sort of manner. So I think it's just a matter of preference regarding to Andrew Tate. And some of this controversial stuff, I can understand why it's controversial, and it's great marketing for him as well. So anyways, guys, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.